An Erios original.
Hello, this is Webcrawlers, where we play your... Nope. Hello, this is Webcrawlers, and this is our mailbag episode where we play your voicemail and read your reviews if we have any. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
Do we have any new reviews?
We have one from Germany.
Oh.
From Souza. Love it, entertaining, and funny girls.
Ooh, thank you.
You're
German, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was born in Germany.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
You're like that German.
I'm that German.
That's crazy.
Yep.
You're a first generation American.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Wow, do you like it here?
No. No, it's fine. I know it's fine. Let's see if we have
any voicemails.
We do have voicemails. Oh boy, gotta scroll all the way back.
Oh man.
Oh, nuts.
We should have like a separate text chain for voicemails, but I don't even know if that's possible.
Here we go.
Hi, this is Sherry of Dianara Photography. I just started listening to the, I'm sorry. My dog just said something funny. I just started listening to the Web Crawlers podcast, and
welcome.
I can't seem to stop listening to episodes. I'm listening to the episodes like cooking, cleaning, doing dishes, laying down to try to sleep,
just all the time.
changing my daughter's diaper. Anytime I'm able to listen to a podcast, I'm listening to it.
Well, thank you.
Well, I just heard the Chowchilla school bus hiking / kidnap story.
Right. Oh, yeah, the school bus thing.
She said the Sunday many school bus stories we had, so
I
have a school bus hijacking story, sorta.
Hijacking?
Whoa.
When I was in 6th grade, and my brother was in 1st grade, we lived in Petaluma, California, hometown of podcaster Karen Kilgareth of My Favorite Murder fame.
Oh.
The church we attended had an old beat-up retired school bus that they would drive around town and pick up members of the church or the members' kids to take them to church when their parents couldn't or wouldn't. On the way to the church, we'd sing songs, play games, etc. They'd have different themes. One week, they had this great idea to celebrate the history of the gold rush, since we live in California, by telling our parents to send us to church in gold rush cowboy western outfits. And then they would have they had bandanas on the bus for the children who didn't have anything country western or gold rush to wear.
Fun.
Well, we get on the bus and they gave us all bags of gold coins. Translate chocolate coins wrapped in gold foil.
Love chocolate coins.
We were instructed to wait until we got out of church to eat them, a.k.a. eat them on the bus ride home so that our parents had to deal with the sugar rush, not them.
Okay.
On the way to the church, we were, quote, pulled over, end quote, by 2 men on horses dressed as bandits.
What?
They boarded our bus with fake guns, demanded that we hand over our candy money or else.
Oh, no.
We older kids.
That's kind of fun.
Or would that be us older kids? I never can tell which one's proper. We had figured out it was just
There's a part 2. There's some bandits.
All right, this is Sherry of Dianara Photo. I'm going to try and talk faster so I can get the rest of my school bus hijacking sorta story finished. Anyways, the older kids figured out it was just a game, and we were jokingly giving the bandits a hard time, refusing to give up our candy. My daughter, being 7 and a bit oblivious to the hoax, jumped up and decided to use his new moves he had learned at the Kenpo karate class at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, that is so
Against his
cute.
fellow youth group members by attacking the bandits.
Oh, no.
He was scrappy, scrawny, and kind of a pipsqueak. And he was karate chopping big grown men who were toting plastic guns. The bandits, the youth group coordinator, and the bus driver all tried to explain to my flailing little brother that this was a game.
It's a prank. It's a
Oh,
prank.
that's so
While
cute.
this tiny little boy was chewing them out for having the audacity to hijack a bus full of God-fearing church kids on the Lord's Day. He would not calm down, so the bandits decided to change gears and pretend that he had beaten them. They threw the gold candy on the bus floor, got on their horses, and left.
That's funny.
My little brother turned around with his hands on his hips and exclaimed with tears in his little blue eyes, "They're gone.
Oh,
You're okay."
Oh, sweetie.
Meanwhile, I was slumped in my seat, covering my face, embarrassed. Years later, my not-so-scrappy, not-so-thin, no longer little younger brother served in the Marine Corps,
Oh,
and I in
similar
the
what?
United States Navy. I hope you enjoyed my story.
That's fun. To be fair, if I was 7 and they like staged a fake like kidnapping heist on a bus, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening?
I would have cried. I was such like a shy little kid.
Yeah, I
think
probably
would've
would've
had a
cried
nervous-
too, be
I
like,
would have
"We're
had a nervous breakdown.
being
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That
the
is
kid
so
was like,
cute,
I'll
though.
protect everyone.
That's so sweet. What a sweetheart.
That's funny. That's funny story.
Good times.
Hi, web crawlers. Hi, Allie and Melissa. It is
hi.
Rachel the Widow again.
Hi, Rachel.
After leaving 3 messages yesterday, I've decided to call back because the mailbag made me think of something. You guys were talking about trying to get back to driving your car after the pandemic. Now, I didn't have that experience because I worked in a lab, so I had to go in every day. But when I was studying abroad, when I was in college, I studied abroad in Australia. And so I didn't, that was probably the longest period of time. I just never drove
Good
for,
day.
like 6
Down
months.
under.
And
under.
when I was in a car, it was on the wrong side of the road
Oh, no.
from what I was used to. So I
Oh,
would have
no.
recurring dreams when I was over there that I was back in the States visiting or just back home and couldn't figure out how to drive on the right side of the road. I
Oh,
was
no.
like struggling with it in my dreams. I don't remember it being an issue when I got home, but apparently it was something I was nervous about. The other dream I had reoccurring when I was in Australia was going to Taco Bell. I would just have dreams that I went to Taco Bell because I missed Mexican food. I mean, there really isn't good Mexican food in Australia. You
Yeah, I
think I
bet,
would have
yeah.
dreamt about good Mexican food, but sometimes you just crave Taco Bell. But yeah, that's it. Aunga. Oy, oy, oy. Bye.
Man, driving on the opposite side of the street is so hard.
Have you done it? I'll never do it.
Yes, when I lived in London for a few months,
Oh.
it's so hard. Like I would drive and a few times I would forget
Yeah.
and I would be driving on the right side of the road, even though the steering wheel was on the right side of the car. I would be driving on the wrong, and I'm like, fuck, I'm on the wrong side of the road. Like I'd have to swerve over. Like it was so confusing.
Well, isn't that how Sarah Jessica Parker's husband killed people?
Excuse me?
You didn't know this?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, Sarah Jessica Parker's
Ferris
husband, isn't
Bueller.
that Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, he killed people.
He killed people?
Yeah.
Whoa. I know Caitlyn Jenner
Yes,
killed
so-
someone.
On August 5th, 1987, while driving a rented BMW on the Tempo Road outside Tempo, Northern Ireland, Broderick crossed into the wrong lane and collided head-on with a Volvo. The driver, Anna Gallagher, and her mother, Margaret Doherty, were both killed instantly.
What happened? Did he go to court or what?
I think they just deemed it an accident. Like, I think it
Right.
was like...
Dang, that
Let me
is.
see. Oh, wait,
He
hold
was
on.
charged with causing death by dangerous driving and faced up to 5 years in prison, but was convicted of the lesser charge of careless driving and fined $100.
I mean, that sucks.
I mean, that seems...
Yeah. The victim's family called the verdict a tragedy of justice.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like, if you're going to go to another country, like, you drive right.
Yeah, you got to figure that shit out.
Yeah, that's why I'll never drive in another country.
Yeah, it's hard.
I can hardly drive here.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, little known fact, I feel like.
Uh-oh, is this a 3-parter?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, boy.
Hi, this is a message for the web crawlers. I'm so excited to tell this story. I have been listening to web crawlers since like 2020, so like the COVID episodes, and I never listened to the mailbag for some reason. I think I just wasn't really sure what they were, but I've recently started listening to them, and then
Nobody
I thought,
knows.
I've got the perfect story. So I also was like waiting to see if like my boyfriend wanted to call in with me because it's something that happened to us. And then I realized that every time we tell this story to our friends, I'm like, you tell it. And then as soon as he starts, I'm like, oh, you forgot something. Oh, and this part. So I'm going to spare you guys that and just tell it myself. So this is like back in January, we had planned a 10-day trip to Costa Rica. And the first couple of days, it was just him and I. And then towards the middle of the trip, we had some friends come down. And then at the end of the trip, when it was just us, we were like, what should we do? Let's like do something fun. It's just going to be us. What should we do? And we decided, let's go deep sea fishing. Neither of us had ever done it. So we were like, this will be perfect. He had grown up going here. It's Nosara, Costa Rica, a really beautiful surf town. And so he had like known some people, like just some locals. So we were like asking around, like, do you know anyone that like does fishing tours? We can like get someone to take us out. So all these people were recommending this one guy. They're like, oh, he's so fun. He's so cool. Like local guys that do it for
Fun is
years.
scary.
Like you'll have
Fun
so
is
much
scary
fun with
word
him.
for a tour.
We were like, okay, perfect. We want to go with someone that's like fun. Because, I mean, like a couple months back, we had done this like horseback riding thing. And you get this guy and they're with you the entire time. And she was such a dud. So we were like, we don't want to be stuck with someone not fun. So we're really excited. And so the night before the trip, and like a couple days before, I was like exhausted and sick and fired and not feeling good. And so I was just like, I don't think I can make it. I don't think I can do it. So in the morning we woke up, I was like, okay, I don't think I can go. I don't think I can. And he was like, really? Like, we've already booked this. Like, we got to go. And then I realized he was going to go without me. So I was like, okay, I can't like have you come back talking about this amazing trip. And I'm just going to feel so jealous. So I suited up and went. I still didn't feel very good, but I was like, I'm just going to do it. It's only for a couple hours. So we had to be at the dock, like the loading dock at 7 a.m. So we get out there and I'm like pushing through and we had like packed a cooler for like lunch and some beers. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to push through no matter what. So we get there and we were really wanting a tuna. I was like really wanting like a big tuna. We had even packed some soy sauce in case they would fillet it on the boat.
Oh, a tuna.
So then we're like on our boat and we're like getting out to where it was supposed to.
Okay, next part. They wanted a tuna. They brought soy sauce so they could just chop up the tuna.
Some poke.
Okay, this is still for web crawlers. This is the part 2. I'm going to try and talk a little bit faster because I don't know how long this story is going to take.
There's another part, baby.
We're on the dock. We're like waiting to get to our boat because we have to have like a little tiny boat take us to our other boat. So we get out there and we're like, hey, are you our guy? And they were like, oh, sorry. Like the captain was like, oh, I can't remember his name. So-and-so, like he wasn't able to make it today.
Jack
so we're like,
Sparrow.
we're kind of bummed. And we're like, we want a tuna. And they were like, well, a tuna is a full day trip, which is you have to go 17 miles out from shore. You guys are just doing a half day, so that's 7. So you're not getting tuna. We're like, all right, whatever. So we get on the boat, and he's like kind of boring. And we were like really excited to have like some lively energy on the boat. So it's like, all right. So we start headed out 7 miles, and my boyfriend just has this, I guess, gift for just sniffing out when someone has drugs. So we noticed that this guy has like a little tiny joint. And so we're like, he was like, I'm going to ask him if we can hit it. I was like, okay. So I don't speak Spanish. My boyfriend does. He's like talking to the captain like, hey, like, can we get a little bit of that? And he like lights up like, marijuana. Great, we're all friends now. So we all start smoking this and we're like feeling it. We're high. Life is good. My stomach sickness has just disappeared. I'm having a wonderful time. We crack open our beers. Life is so good. We're like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love everything is just perfect. And so as we go out, we're like seeing all these beautiful things. We like see these dolphins. We're like, oh, dolphins, beautiful. Then on the other side of us, we see like this giant sea turtle. And my boyfriend stands up. He's like, Tortuga, Tortuga. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we keep going. And we're just like about to throw out our lines because they kind of like cast behind the boat. So we put our lines out and we're still going. And then he stands up and like starts screaming, Tortuga, another Tortuga. I'm like, damn, another turtle out here. We're far
that
out.
Tuna, doesn't it?
Tortuga's turtle.
And a little closer to it. And I see toes. And then I see a leg. And then I see just a full-blown body. And we were like, oh my God.
A body?
That's a dead body. So we kind of just grab each other and slowly sit down. The part that I like that he tells is that I had my sunglasses on my head and I just put them down on my eyes and just sit down. And we're like oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, I guess, are you? I'm like, I don't know. So then we like turn around and we start talking to the captain and he's like kind of freaking out and like, what the fuck? What do we do? And it was just like so eerie. So we're like, well, call the Coast Guard, I guess. So then he calls the Coast Guard. They start talking. And then we end up having, like, unfortunately, getting a little closer to it. And we see it has no...
It has a what? There's another
This is insane.
It has a what?
Okay, me again. Just wrapping up this story, but it was just so insane. So we're like, this is so weird. We had to circle around the body for an hour and a half before the Coast Guard could get there. And I don't know how I wasn't paranoid because I don't even really smoke weed, but it's like anytime I do, I'm just in like, who's around me? Who's here? I'm just so panicked. So the fact that I was like still was very alarming. But he told me later in his head, he was like, are we even on this right? But I mean, we already had like a mix up with like our captain. Like it wasn't supposed to be him. We're on this, but like, is this about to turn into something weird?
Right.
Luckily that wasn't in my head at the time, but now it's like, that was odd. And so then we have to wait for the Coast Guard. And it took them, like an hour and a half to get out there. And so they finally come and then we're like, all right, we got to go. Like, this is so like, we're just like wasting our day. And then we're like moving through. And my boyfriend was like, wow, wouldn't it be like so awkward if we caught a fish right now? And as soon as he said that, the captain was like, all right, come back. Come reel it in, reel it in.
Fish on the line.
No, do not eat it.
And so we like run to the back. And it took like 30 minutes to reel in this like mahi. But it's just like the energy of the whole boat was just like shifted once again to like, yay, we caught a fish. Like it was just so awkward. And then he like filleted on the boat and we like got to taste it and then we took it home and we had mahi tacos for dinner and we just kind of couldn't stop thinking about it the whole day. And what's funny is like leading up to it, we kept being like, this is going to be a day to remember. Like we've got to go. Like we've both never done this, a day to remember. And the whole night we were like, well, it was a day to remember, huh? I couldn't get over that.
Fuck.
But I just want to share that story because it's probably one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
But that's all. Also, I am a Coke girl. Coke all the way.
Nice.
Bye, Coke. Bye.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
That's I can't believe you ate a fish from the same waters, correct? Is that
like
correct?
It's I guess was the body like floating, I guess? Well, because bodies float. That's why they tie like
rocks and stuff.
To them. Oh, good
Cement.
Lord. Oh
Girl.
my God, a body.
That's some Yellow Jacket shit.
Oh. I hope your mahi was delicious.
Yeah, I'm like, that almost made me gag.
Wow. Okay. Well, next message.
Yeah, on to the next, I guess.
This message is for web crawlers. This is Lauren from Houston. I called a couple weeks ago just to tell you all that I finished listening to all your episodes over a very long period of time. So I think that I probably listened to like the most amount of hours of anyone, I'd like to say, but I don't know.
Congrats.
I I'm calling to tell you about my little story about when I was dog sitting the other day.
Uh-oh.
I had a little bit of a scary incident. Okay, so I was dog sitting at this lady's house, and it was like for 5 nights. It was mostly fine, and there was like 2 dogs. They felt pretty safe in the house. There was an alarm. It was fine. And on like the 3rd night in the house, there's 2 doors in the backyard, and I usually let the little dog go hang out in the backyard for a while because he didn't really like me. And but then there was another door that he could get into the kitchen, and sometimes I would let him in through that door. And so I was standing in the kitchen, and I heard scratching at the door, and so I go, assuming the little dog wants to come in the kitchen door.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to open it, and there's 2 locks on this door. One like with a key in it, and one that's like a literal lock. So I unlock the first lock, and I'm turning like the key lock. And as I do that, I like barely touch my hand to the handle, and it starts to just turn, like as if someone is on the other side turning it. Like it's that feeling, and it scared me so bad that I just slammed the door, and I just locked both locks because it like that's exactly what it felt like, and I just was terrified. So I closed it and locked both locks, and then like went to the other back door where I could see where there's windows, and the little dog is there and everything's fine. But I swear that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, I turned the alarm, I put on all the locks, and then I found myself like 2 weapons to go to bed with because I was so scared. And I found myself a big knife and a cane with a very pretty handle to take to bed with me while I like call my friend to confess about this like scary incident because I'm in this like random house alone. And I'm gonna DM these to y'all on Instagram because I think they're funny. And now it's been a week or 2 and I'm not as scared. But yes, took my little weapons to bed every night. But I like looked in the backyard. I never like opened that door ever again because I was so scared that something might be there, because I swear to God, I know what that feels like when there's someone on the other side of the handle, like,
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
So then, like, 2 days go by, and
There's a part 2. That's scary.
Okay, hi. It's Lauren from Houston again. I'm calling to finish my message. I'm so sorry I talked for so long, and I don't feel like I really was, like, communicating, like, the fear that I felt that moment. Or maybe I just felt whatever.
I get
okay,
it.
I'm going to keep going. So, a day or 2 go by, I never reopened this, like, door that goes to this tiny little, like, patio outside the kitchen where this dog can get in. I never opened it again because it scared me so bad, and I, like, took, like, a different knife to be with me to bed every night, just, like, to feel protected. And I would barricade myself in the room. Like, there was this huge, heavy chest that I would put in front of the door, and I'd lock the door. And then the last night, there was, like, a contractor lady who was working on this house because they were replacing the door. So she was there during the day, and she was checking on the dogs, and I came home, and she was like, she told me to open the door to the kitchen because she could hear the dog too. And this is a different day. And I couldn't open it. So I'm trying to like open this door now, and I have like a witness with me. I'm trying to open this door like just like I did the other night, and I cannot open it. I've unlocked those locks, and I'm like yanking it open, and I cannot do it. And I'm like, can you try? And she tries, and it takes her a while, but she finally yanks it open. The little dog is there. This is like 2 days after that happened. So it's not an easy door to open. So the way that it like just the handle just turned on its own is not normal. And it felt like someone else was there. And then after she left, after it was so hard to open, I tried to recreate this like feeling of the door so many times because I wanted to give myself the peace of mind. And I can't do it. I've tried multiple times like to like do exactly what I did the other night. And I'm like, why would I react like that if that's not what happened? And I try to recreate it, and it's hard to open every single time. It never happens like it did that first time. So I'm kind of convinced someone was out there and like opened the door and trying to see if they could get in, but like I closed it fast enough, and like maybe I just was, I don't know, I got away with it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, that's what happened. I don't think I told that long. I don't know. But I called my friend that first night who also listens to Webcrawlers. Her name is Christina, and she's very unhelpful and told me a lot of scary things about how burglars at night are there for you, not your stuff. So
That's cool.
So yeah, so hi Christina and hi Mikey. Mikey is her boyfriend and he was the Zaw burglar guy. So
Zaw burglar.
Bye-bye.
That's scary.
Yeah, I don't like the sounds of that.
Okay, next message.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. I'm calling because I've been re-listening to old episodes, and I've been putting off the episode about Issei Sagawa because I know it's
the
really
Oh,
fucked
this
up.
is where we
Anyway,
have to.
I've basically listened to everything, so that was like the last episode that I haven't heard.
Issei Sagawa, the
And
cannibal.
it is.
We have an official
I'm
statement,
dying
hurry.
because Maria is talking about wanting to chew on a leather strip, just like on a piece of leather while she watches TV. And then she was saying that like a nose would probably be really good deep fried, even though it's all cartilage. It would be really good all crispy and deep fried. And then she just said like, oh, I could easily pan fry a person for human flesh. Easily. And Maria's completely insane, and I respect it. I love you guys. Bye.
Okay, and there's a part 2 to this.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. I just called about the cannibal episode, and I just wanted to put it out there that I in no way endorse cannibalism. I respect Maria for her extreme views, but I do not share those views. I am personally disgusted by cannibalism. I just wanted the public to know that. And you guys to know that I'm not insane. Like Maria. Okay, love you. Bye.
So Maria sent this voicemail, and she said, I'm putting out a statement for this. I have no idea what I was talking about, but I would truly never want to pan fry human flesh, and that's insane and disgusting. And I probably had too much caffeine that day and gross. So, like, please disregard that I ever said that because it's truly insane.
But then she said, hold on, I'm going to write a new statement. And then she said, I was obviously joking. I think it's absolutely disgusting to try eating human flesh. That's an insane thing for me to say. I take it back. Gross.
Yes, Maria, we know you wouldn't eat human flesh.
Yeah, that's her official. That's why she doesn't do the podcast anymore, because she has too much regret over the jokes that she makes. She's spiraling.
Oh, boy. Okay, 2 messages left.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. Hi. This is Jordan from Rochester. I have a pretty interesting story. I'm wondering if you guys have ever heard of the Bjork stalker incident.
No.
So hopefully you're familiar with the Icelandic musician Bjork.
Yeah,
she's
sure am.
absolutely the coolest. Not that I'm an obsessive fan since high school or anything, but not as obsessive as this guy. So he, back in like 1996 or so, this guy, Ricardo Lopez, was obsessed with the musician Bjork, and he kind of was like a loner, and he hung out in his room, and he had a VHS camcorder, and he recorded this like video essay of himself, like, and how he got into her music and all this stuff. And I guess also he was kind of racist because when he found out that she was dating the musician Goldie, he like freaked out, I guess, because he's black, and he didn't like that. And also she was betraying him because they were meant to be together and all this yada yada. So what he did was he built a package bomb with like hydrochloric acid or something that was meant to like, you know, explode in someone's face and disfigure them. And he had Bjork's address. I don't know how you get that in 1996, but so he recorded himself building this package bomb, and then he killed himself on camera with a gun. The footage is out there on the internet. If you want to look it up, it's fucked up.
No, thank you.
So I guess when they discovered that he was dead, they watched all the VHS tapes, and they thought that he had mailed this bomb, and they intercepted it in the mail. And then it never got to her, obviously. But the thing about it to me is, like, he did this before ever hearing her 1997 album, which is the greatest album of all time. But something weird about that is that after she found out about this incident, she was really freaked out. So she moved to the countryside of Spain where she wrote that album. So if it wasn't for this incident, that album wouldn't exist anyway.
Oh.
I don't know. It's a pretty fucked up thing. So we almost lived in a world where Bjork was some sort of like fan of the opera, like disfigured mask face person. But thank God that didn't happen. Love you guys. Bye.
Was that the All Is Full of Love album?
Interesting. I'm not really a Bjork head, but that's awesome.
Wow.
What are
That's
I mean,
crazy.
everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Everything happens for a reason.
That's what they
All
say.
is full of love. I loved Bjork in high school. Big Bjork head over here.
You would.
Okay, last message.
Hi. Yeah, this is a message for the big ones. My name's Dakota. I'm a big fan. First time, long time.
Big ones.
Yeah, as far as UAPs go.
Oh, wait.
Oh, this is for us. Oh, I think
Remember
we played
last
that.
time Maria sent us a message, they said the big ones?
Yeah, we've played that one.
Yeah, we played that one, right?
We played this.
Okay, well, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. You know what? This is a question that can be taken off the podcast, but are like grocery markets open on Easter? Like, do things close on Easter? Like, what's the deal?
I would think that they're open.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know. Like, Easter's a big one, right? Like, Jesus is risen again. That question.
I don't know. Is it a big one?
People, I have no idea.
That's a question for the big ones.
That's a question for the big ones. Are markets open on Easter, and should they be? What would Jesus do? All right, guys. Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. Please continue to call with whatever you want to talk to us about. We
whatever.
Love it
What's your
anyways.
favorite Bjork album? Is it Homogenic? That's
Yeah.
the name of the album, is it?
What's your favorite market?
What's your favorite
We would
market?
love
Where
to
do you
know.
shop?
Also, do you say market or grocery store?
I say
That's a big
grocery
one.
store.
Most people do. I realize that. I think market is a Los Angeles thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because no one says market. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetson.
Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.